Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Everton Show, and it's been a busy old week at the football club. We were in South Wales last weekend, we celebrated the Premier League 2 title on Monday night, and we had the end of season awards on Tuesday. Plenty of reflection on everything that's gone on in this week's programme, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ian Snodin and a very special guest, Seamus Coleman. Seamus, thanks very much for coming on to the Everton Show. The first and most obvious question, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I've been back at Finch Farm a couple of weeks now and started back into rehab, so I was looking forward to getting back. Had a great time at home, but back to work and ready for action. Great to see him back.
Fantastic to have him back. Yeah.
Welcome back and welcome to the Everton Show. Right, let's have a quick look at what else we've got for you in this week's Everton Show.
The Dixie for the 2016-17 Player of the Season, Ronald, goes to...
If there is a player who wants to play for Everton Football Club that he wants and that Steve wants, we will get them for you.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, coming back from my injury, and then I was a father, a few weeks ago, so it feels good to be back.
We go for our 13th win of 19, and that will be great because that's really a strong home record.
It's always terrible when one of our own gets injured, but there was a particular outpouring of sympathy for this young man, wasn't there?
Yeah, because Evertonians, former players, realise how valuable he is to Everton Football Club. Not only in his art of defending, but more getting forward, rampaging down that right-hand side, scoring goals, delivering crosses in there. Seamus is a top quality right back. There's no question about it. He's international class. He's captain of his country. Don't get any better. So when it happened, it was a massive blow for Everton Football Club. But looking at him now, he won't be long. He's determined to get back, and we want him back as well.
You hate listening to all stuff like this, don't you? You sit there cringing, but it's all thoroughly deserved. Let's just speak about the injury and get it out of the way. You said on the Everton Show a few weeks ago in an interview that you knew straight away it was a bad one. Yeah,
I knew straight away. Obviously, I never broke a bone before playing football or any time, but you just know straight away. I knew the impact, and it's a horrible feeling, but it was just about making sure that I looked after it for them a couple of seconds until the doctor came on and made sure I didn't move or anything, which has happened in the past with players. So just about controlling it, and the doctor came on and I had great support, and everyone back home looked after me really well.
I'm amazed that there's no cast, there's no protective boot.
Yeah, it all came off very quickly. The cast came off the day after the operation. The surgeon came up and asked me to wiggle my toes, and I was fit to do it, so he took it off and went into a protective boot and been on crutches for the last 6 weeks, but I'm slowly weaning off them as well, so it's great.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible. I know even before my time, you were in, if you broke your leg, you were in a full plaster from top to bottom for 6 months. Yeah. I just had a cartilage out when I was 18 as well, and I was in a cast for about a month as well, so it's incredible, but he's doing brilliant.
Times they are a-changing. Right, now Monday night was one of celebration for Everton Under-23s. It was a night of celebration for the entire football club, to be fair. The 2-1 defeat in their last game of the season against Liverpool wasn't what we all wanted, but it didn't really matter because the Premier League 2 title had already been won. 18,000 supporters rocked up at Goodison Park on a night when the main event of the evening came after the final whistle, when Everton Under-23s were formally crowned the champions.
Deserved, I think, all season. The lads have been brilliant, and it's been a tough, long season, but at the final we got this, and the result today is not what we wanted, but at the end of the day it's a season, and we've done well all season, so we deserve it.
It wasn't like us tonight. We didn't start until about the 75th minute, and then we kept going at the end, and we could have got an equaliser. So yeah, disappointing with the performance, but when we look at the season as a whole, very, very proud of the group of players.
We've proved it all year, to be fair, and we're all confident in our ability. We're a good group of lads. We're all mates, and we're all going to celebrate it together.
can I just take this opportunity to thank all the supporters who came out tonight. It was a great evening. You know, we're sorry we didn't get the result that we wanted, but having said that, you know, for the Premier League to be here and for our boys to lift the trophy in front of our fans, 19,000, whatever it was, just a fantastic night for them in that respect, and it was great to do it here.
Well, after recovering from an injury that threatened to derail his campaign, midfielder Joe Williams made a telling contribution to the title run-in. As you've just seen, the Heighton-born midfielder was happy enough to speak to me on the pitch after the trophy presentation, and he spoke well. But boys will be boys.
The atmosphere between the players and the staff is terrific. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're all very close in Finch Farm, and Unzi's great with us. He has loads of banter with us. It's not always very serious.
So anyway,
it's great to see that, Snodin.
Yeah, it is. You always get a couple of the lads that are like that, and great piece of film there. But no, he's done well, Joe, since he's come back from his injury. I know it was getting him down. I spoke to him on a couple of opportunities that I seen him at Finch Farm, and it was getting him down a little bit, his injuries, but he's come back, and he works incredibly hard, Joe, and he's played a contribution towards the end.
When you see that little outtake, Seamus, if you have a close look, you can see Tyus Browning get his phone out to film it, Gethin Jones creeping up behind Joe Williams. They all seem to get on smashing together.
Yeah, they do. That's probably one of the big things that you notice most about the group. Obviously, we see them about Finch Farm all the time, but they seem to be very close and have a good togetherness, and I think that all probably comes from Unzi. I think he's gave them that belief and, you know, team ethic from the start, and they're really doing well.
What have you made of John Joe Kenny's progression?
Very impressed with John Joe. You know, I have been for a while, and anytime he's come up to train with us, he's, you know, stood out in training. He's first and foremost, he's a great lad, which is important when you step up. And as a player, I think he's definitely going to make plenty Everton appearances because he's got that ability.
He's a winner, Seamus, as well, isn't he? He's determined. He put a tackle in on one of the Liverpool players with about 10 minutes to go, and he went right through. Like, fair tackle, went through with his body as well, and just to let him know that he's about. And yeah, as Seamus said, he's a good lad, but he wants to play. He wants to play for Everton, and he wants his chance, does.
And those Under-23s, quite rightly, Snods, at the end of the season awards, got the Howard Kendall Award, which is presented to an individual or a group for achievement.
Yeah, and they do deserve it. I know Unzi was, and John Ebrell was. They were devastated after that game because it was against them, our rivals. 18,000 crowd there, so we wanted to put on a show, wanted to put on a party atmosphere. It weren't to be in the result, but them boys have worked every day, all season, and they've got the just rewards. And I said to Unzi, get in there, mate, get in that dressing room, and he eventually did. And he sprayed some champagne, and they deserve it. They deserve it.
Eventually the home dressing room was awash with champagne, but you were just saying off camera there, you weren't surprised that Unzi was a bit deflated for a while after the final whistle on Monday night?
Yeah, obviously, you know, it was a big occasion for the lads, and for Unzi, you know, to lift the title at home was great for them, but obviously to get one over the rivals would have been that bit better, but it wasn't to be, and as John Joe said very well in the interview after, it's over a whole season. Unfortunately, you know, they didn't win on the night, but you know, over a full season to keep up them standards week in, week out, with players going out on loan and coming back from loan, you've got to take players up from maybe the under-18, and they deserve it thoroughly, and fair play to them.
You had a few games for the second team, didn't you, when you first came over?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I played quite a bit for Andy Holden and Alan Stubbs. So I think this new format's probably better than what it used to be. It was an old reserve format, but you know, it was great for me. I got some games, and then obviously I went out on loan, but I like the way it's done this time around.
And of course, going even further back, Snod, you played for the Resis and even the A-team when you come back from injury.
Yeah, you did, and it's important for a player to get his match fitness playing with the lads. And the younger lads respect that, especially if you're a good person, you take the game serious. And I used to, whether it was playing for A-team, reserve or whatever, because them young lads look up to you and they want to see good habits off a professional.
Yeah, it's a terrific process. Right, that's us for part one. We'll take a short breather right now. When we come back, we'll focus exclusively on the end of season awards evening that took place on Tuesday night. In fact, the entire part two of this week's show will come from the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall.
Welcome to part two of this week's Everton Show. I'm outside the iconic Liverpool Philharmonic Hall. It's the venue for the 2017 Everton End of Season Awards. There are plenty of people to meet, plenty of awards to present, and a plethora of special guests along the way. Well, as you can see, Phil Jagielka and the first team squad are mingling with the punters here on the blue carpet on Hope Street, just outside the Liverpool Philharmonic. It's something a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We normally pop out and see a few of the fans, but it's nice that we've literally painted the town blue, the floor, and came out to see quite a lot of fans.
And a mix and match with outfits as well. I suppose there's a bit more pressure on when you can't hide behind your club suits.
Yeah, definitely. A few have come in club suits, a few have come in black tie as well, but there's a couple that's taken a bit of a gamble, and to be honest, they've pulled it off. You've got to take your hat off to them.
Well, as you can see, I've made my way into the foyer now of the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall. The 2017 Everton End of Season Awards ceremony will get underway very, very shortly. One of the first awards is one of the most prestigious. We will be announcing the 2017 Everton Giant, the latest inductee into the Everton Hall of Fame. Previous winners include legends like Dixie Dean, Joe Royle, Colin Harvey, Howard Kendall, Duncan Ferguson's there, Graham Sharp, Dave Watson. The names just roll off the tongue. Let's go and see who the 2017 Everton Giant will be.
He captained the team to the 62-63 league title. He actually scored a hat-trick in the title clinching game. He was the top scorer that season with 24 goals. He formed a deadly partnership with Alex Young. He won 32 Welsh caps, and he played in the 1958 World Cup in Sweden.
Well, we're in the music room here at the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall. This is effectively the green room, the VIP room, if you like. Kevin Sheedy's in here at the moment. So is Graham Sharp. So is Tony Bellew, by the way. And the first team squad and the under-23s were in here a little bit earlier. And next up, we're going to find out who the under-23 player of the season is. It's been a fantastic campaign for David Unsworth and his young side. They were crowned earlier this week as the Premier League 2 champions. We'll find out who's won their player of the season, and they'll also be sticking around for the prestigious Howard Kendall Award, because I've got a feeling the under-23s might just get a mention.
David, please announce who the winner of the Dixie is for under-23s player of the year.
John Joe Kenny.
I'm proud to take this award. I want to say thank you to all the Everton under-23 staff and players for the great season. Sorry I can't be there tonight, but hope everyone enjoys the evening.
It is the Howard Kendall Award. Lily, you've got the envelope.
The under-23s.
The winner of the Howard Kendall Dixie, the Everton under-23 squad.
Our next award is to reward individual excellence. It could be Martin Stecklenburg away at Man City, Tom Davis at home to Manchester City, Romelu Lukaku when he scored 4 goals at Goodison Park against Bournemouth. It will reward individual excellence. It's a new award for this season. We'll also be announcing our Fan of the Year. Everton support at home and away, and next season abroad is second to none. We'll find out, and I'm looking forward to meeting the Fan of the Year.
The winner is Tom Davis.
Would you say that was your best performance in an Everton shirt?
Yeah, it was a great day for me, and obviously got my first goal, so it was an all-round good day, yeah.
What do you remember most about that game? Goal?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd have to be celebrating in the Gladys Street, really. That was that was all I can remember.
And a final question on that. When you went off celebrating, did you worry that Romelu was going to claim it?
Kind of, yeah, but in the end it's always going to be mine, isn't it? So thanks for leaving it, yeah?
We're going to announce who the fan of the year is.
The winner is Lily Blackhurst.
What does Everton mean to you?
It's my release coming to watch the games at the moment.
And because they are really helping you, aren't they, as well? The community side of it are giving you something back for everything you've given the club.
Yes. It's been a godsend.
Next award is a very special one. It was devised by our chairman, Bill Kenwright, and it's designed to acknowledge achievement and a general contribution to the football club. This is what we call the Chairman's Blue Blood Award.
Rhino! Rhino indeed, the blue blood of the year, David Unsworth.
Thank you. This has come as a massive shock, surprise. Everybody knows my love for this football club. It's my whole life, and it started when I was 14 and I signed as a schoolboy. And it's exactly the same as then, and it's the same now.
There was a lad on a train once. 30 years ago, I was with John Motson, and I remember John Motson said, "Where'd you come from?" And he said, "I come from Norwich, and I go into London, Liverpool Street, go across to Euston, get the train up, and I get home at 4 o'clock in the morning." And John Motson looked at him and said, "You must love Everton." And straight-faced, he turned to him and said, "John, I die for Everton." Now, I don't want Tony Bellew to die for anyone, but he's not only a movie star, he's not only a world champion, he's not only one of the biggest boxing draws in the world, he's also a lovely man, and more than anything, a blue. Tony Bellew.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, because I'll be honest, I didn't see that one coming. I'm usually good at dodging things like this. I'm being given an award for being an Evertonian, but really, I should give the club an award for what they've done for me in my career, because I love Everton Football Club and it means as much to me as them three in the house. So I'm honoured to be an Evertonian, simple as that, and to see where my club's going now is the most special thing in the world. Everton Football Club is going back to where it belongs, and that is the top, and that's all that matters. That is all that matters.
Everton Football Club traditionally has never been afraid to give young players their opportunity, and next up we're about to find out who the 2016-17 Young Player of the Season will be. We'll also salute the winner of the Goal of the Season. It could well be the same player.
The winner is Tom Davis.
How much have you enjoyed this season? How much have you been surprised by this season?
Yeah, it's been a bit of both really. It's been great for me breaking through, but I never really expected it, so to be honoured with this is great for me. Yeah.
Goal of the season. Again, voted by you, the supporters. The shortlist was created by Everton's leading post-war goal scorer, Graham Sharp.
And the winner is Tom Davis.
I'm running out of things to ask you, to be honest. Had a nice day?
Yeah, it's been good so far.
Going well, isn't it, then?
OK, we're approaching the climax of the 2017 Everton Awards evening. We're about to find out now who is the official Everton Player of the Year, and also, and it's one of the most prestigious awards, who is the Players' Player of the Year.
Phil, time to announce the Players' Player of the Year.
Players' Player, not surprisingly, Mr. Lukaku.
You seem genuinely surprised.
Yeah, I am.
And it obviously means a lot.
Yes, since I turned pro, maybe the first time that it happens to me. So, yeah, it's strange. I thought it was Ghana because I think, for me personally, I thought Ghana would win it because he was the best player consistently. He done a good job.
Yes, the winner is Romelu Lukaku.
You have had some night.
Yeah, it was a great night, but not only for me, but for my teammates. The manager set the standard from the first day, and when we came back, we knew what we had to do, so it's just a step up to better things.
And that was it. That was the Everton 2017 annual end of season awards evening here at the Philharmonic. We've acknowledged the past, we've celebrated the present, and we've looked ahead to the future. We do hope you've enjoyed our exclusive behind the scenes coverage of this year's event. Don't go too far away, because after this short break, we'll be back in the studio for part 3 of this week's Everton Show. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of the end of season awards. It was a terrific night, thoroughly enjoyed by everyone in attendance. Sitting patiently throughout part 2 of this week's show were our special guests, Snods and Seamus. Well, it's now your turn in the spotlight. Great night at the Philharmonic and a great night for Rom and Tom.
It was a fantastic night. I didn't really know how it were going to work, because we've been to St George's Hall for the last couple of seasons. So I didn't quite get it until we got there. And I thought it was a terrific evening. I think everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. One or two guests got up and spoke as well, and had a word with the players in the second section. So I think overall everybody who went had a great evening, and especially Tom and Rom. Tom picked up 3 awards and Rom got 2. So yeah, good night for them. But I think well deserved as well. Rom's been on fire this season, scoring goals. But young Tom Davis, 18-year-old, has come in and took to the game, took to the first team, no problems whatsoever. So he'll be proud, and his parents will be proud of him as well.
It was an interesting concept, wasn't it, this season's end of season awards? But quite rightly, you were excused blue carpet duty. That would have been a step too far. Yeah, a step too far. I think it meant a lot of walking around the fans, which obviously I would have loved to have done. But no, it's important to kind of look after my leg as well at this early stage. So I got out of that bit. And talking of walking,
sorry, can I just interrupt? How did you feel on that night when all the crowd in the audience started singing your song as well? Prestigious awards like that, and they still, as soon as they mention your name, the pitch come up, it was 60 grand.
Yeah, no, look, I can't hide the fact or try and act any different, but it's amazing the feeling it gives you. It's unbelievable, and as I said, that was as good as any award on the night for me. Like to hear them support you like that is something else. And I keep saying it, but I genuinely can't, explain how much the support has meant to me, and the fans have always been great with me, so it's great. And talking of walking amongst the fans, we've got some terrific footage from last summer, Seamus, when you came back to Killybegs, your hometown of Killybegs, after Ireland did so well in the Euros, and it looks to me as if every single person in the town of Killybegs has come out to see you. Yeah, once again, just like how it is over here, how lucky I am to play for this team and these fans. Very lucky to come from where I do. The town of Killybegs is amazing. It's not just me they get behind any sports person or any person trying to do well for themselves, and to come home after captaining my country at the Euros to see familiar faces and the effort they show and to come out and support me is once again something I won't forget, and that's why I do what I do as well. I try and make the people back home proud and give them something to smile about every Saturday or Sunday. Is there many pubs in Killybegs? Yeah, there's plenty, yeah. That's fancy going over. Have to go over and see. Have a look. Yeah, why not? Do you ever think back to the days when you were playing for Sligo and think, wow? Definitely, that'll never leave me, and I think it's important that it doesn't leave you. I could be sitting at home some days and I still think to myself, how fortunate and how lucky I am to do what I do, but you know, I also know that I've had to work very hard, and it doesn't just come by luck. You know, I had to work very hard. But yeah, definitely, I'm in a very privileged job, privileged life, and you know, I'm very grateful for every day I drive through them gates at Finch Farm.
It's an incredible story, isn't it, Snods?
Fantastic, fantastic. For a big club like Everton to pay £60,000 for a lad that's now worth millions and millions. Not just saying because his ear does as well, but I think consistently over the last 4 or 5 years, he's been our best player over a period. And I know I don't like listening to things like this, but I'm a fan. All right, I'm an ambassador for the club and I work for the club, but I'm a fan. And there's nothing better when I see him bombing down that right-hand side and getting crosses in, and because I played that position as well, so I enjoy watching him play. And as I say, consistently over the last 5 years, I think he's been our best player.
And your first game was at left-back against Benfica. We lost 5-0. Did you at any point after that game think, this ain't going to happen for me here?
Yeah, I did, to be honest. It was a tough night, and you know, you question yourself. Even now to this day, after defeat, you're disappointed coming home on the train or plane. But that night coming home on the plane, I was very disappointed with how it went. And you think to yourself, am I going to get another chance? And thankfully, I stuck at it, and like I always will and always do. And you know, it just came around for me then.
The back four against Benfica away from home. Dan Gosling on the right, Seamus on the left. Tony Hibbert and Sylvain Distin. We were lucky to get away with 5-0, weren't we?
Because I went as well. I went corporate with Everton. Looked after a few corporate members, and I did a piece before the game. I said, look, it'd be difficult here where we are. I said, but if we can get away with just a 1-0 defeat or something like that, we've got a chance. And I thought it was 1-0 for quite a bit. And when after half-time, they scored. Because I went in at half-time, I said, well, we're doing well, it's tight. And before I took my seat, we were 4 down.
An inauspicious start, but the rest, as they say, is history. Right, one of the many highlights of the end of season awards was a typically passionate speech from the chairman. It was actually lovely just to see Bill Kenwright back at the ceremony that he's missed for a couple of years. And he was in sparkling form as he addressed the Evertonians in the room.
Important thing I want to start off with, if I may, is that I did find you, even those who didn't believe I was looking, the right investor. I promise you I did. And when John and I and others bought the club, we didn't buy the club, you own the club, we don't own. Farhad does not own this club, you own this football club. When we got the shares in 2000, we knew we didn't have the wherewithal to take it forward. We had the dreams, we had the hopes, and the search did come to an end with Farhad, and I knew instinctively. So I was on the phone to him today, and I said, listen, I'm on the phone to him every day. I said, they'll want to know what the message is. And the message is, we are totally focused on getting this club to the dock. We are totally focused on that. But that is not going to take away the focus from the commitment to our manager, Ronald Koeman. Straightness is everything when you're dealing with someone, when you don't mess around, and I'm really grateful to you, Ronald, first of all, for getting us back into Europe. Secondly, for helping us believe. Even now, in May, we believe in March, April, we can get Arsenal, we can get the other lots, but we believe now, whether we do or we don't, it's the belief, and you've kept it there, and you lads, you've kept it there. So thank you so much for that. But our commitment is, and this is from Farhad, if there is a player who wants to play for Everton Football Club that he wants and that Steve wants, we will get them for you. That's a promise. And you know what? It's fantastic for me to be able to say that, because we haven't had the bread over the years. We've tried to give it everything we can, but we haven't had the bread. But we can say that, and we can go, hopefully, to the dock, and we can get you back where you belong. Champions League, even higher. Please God.
Seamus, the night you got that dreadful injury against Wales, the chairman, Bill Kenwright, was one of the first on the phone, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. You know, when I came round and got through the messages, seen a message from the chairman, and you know, tell me how upset he was for me and what he thought of me. You know, the chairman is great. Have a good relationship with him, and you know, we'd agreed to sign a contract before I went away, and he just sent a message to reassure me that, you know, nothing's changed and take your time at home, but when you come back, you know, be ready to sign this contract, which, you know, was great for me and my family. You know, it was really appreciated, and you know, I'll do all I can when I get back in that blue shirt for the fans and especially for the chairman.
Must have been a great boost that at a time when you were at a really low ebb.
Yeah, it was, and as I said at the awards night, you know, I'm not surprised either by the chairman. I didn't think any different, but even to get the message that night was a great boost. And as I said, I'll repay him, please God, when I'm back.
You spoke really well, as always, at the awards night, and we go to every away game between us, Snods, and I see chairman and CEOs outside the dressing room high-fiving the players. Bill's not like that, is he? He's a massive Evertonian, but he doesn't encroach.
No, he doesn't. He leaves it to the manager, he leaves it to the players, but he always says nice things about the players. He was up at, as we say, in them awards, he spoke highly of nearly everybody that was there, every one of the players. And no, he's great to be around, but he doesn't go into dressing rooms. He doesn't encroach on the manager in the dressing room area or anything like that. And even I think you went with Diamond to the under-23 at Aldershot, and he wasn't going to go in, even into that dressing room, because to congratulate him, more or less, got he had won it then. And Diamond says to him, "Chairman, they'd love it. The lads would love it if you popped into that change room." And it only cost, you said that he went in. Well, he wouldn't have even gone in, kind of thing. He just wants to stay out of the limelight in the dressing room. He won't have it.
And on the night, Snods, he gave the exclusive to everybody that Kevin Morales was signing a new contract as well.
Yeah, nobody knew. None of us seemed to know. I don't know if the players knew. Did you know? And I think he was taking a bit of stick, Kevin, for his suit more than anything. Yeah. I think the lads were giving him a bit, but to get a deal, it's great for Kevin and great for Everton.
To be fair to Kevin, it was the best suit on the night, wasn't it? Right, we're taking another quick break right now, and in part 4 we'll speak to Ramiro Funes Mori about his recovery from a knee injury and assess the challenge that Watford will bring to Goodison Park in our last home game of the season. Welcome to the final section of this week's programme. It's Friday night football for the last game of the season, the last home game anyway. Watford come to Goodison later this evening, and it's another game that Ramiro Funes Mori will have to watch from the sidelines. The Argentinian has a knee injury that ended his season last month, but he's back at the club and he was on the blue carpet on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, you know, coming back from my injury, and then I was a father, you know, a few weeks ago, so it feels good to be back.
Was it good to start your rehabilitation back home?
Yeah, I think because, you know, it was a mix of lots of things. You know, I was going to be a father. You know, my head, you know, was a little bit frustrated, but other than that, you know, it's good to go back home and clear my head, and now I feel good to be back and do the recovery.
What kind of training are you doing at the moment?
No, mostly, you know, slight training, you know, just balancing on the knee and doing some hard work, you know, with the weights. But I think, you know, with the physios, they're doing a great job trying to give me as soon as possible. So maybe for the off-season, I'll be good.
Great to see the fans tonight, and there was loads and loads of messages on social media wishing you well from all the Evertonians.
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, it's very special. Everton people, when I got here, they showed me a lot of love, so I feel happy, you know, in the club to be here, and you know, the people, they show me the greetings, so I'm very happy to be here.
Mother and baby okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything was great. She was healthy, and you know, it's something unique, you know, to be a father, and you know, I like kids, so I just feel very happy.
You getting lots of sleep?
Not really. You know, it's hard, but you know, that's how it's life. When you have a kid, it's like that. You don't get to sleep much, but it's good.
It's not somewhat bizarrely. Ramiro Funes Mori's injury slipped under the radar a little bit, but it's great to have him back.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Nobody likes getting injured, Daz, and I'm just talking to Seamus when that bit of film went on, and he says what a great kid he is. So you respect him in a way for that anyway, but yeah, he's a family man, you can see that, and he will come back again, there's no question about it. He'll come back stronger. He looks an aggressive trainer as well, Seamus, so yeah, we'll see him in a blue shirt, no problem whatsoever.
How's fatherhood going for you, Seamus?
That's brilliant. Yeah, it's you know, the best thing that's happened to me really, and you know, especially times when you know you might be a bit low after such the injury I got, just to see your little girl coming over to you, it makes all the difference. So loving it, I have to say.
The injury must have got you out of nappy changing for a bit.
Yeah, I just said that. I haven't changed the nappy in 6 weeks, but I'm actually missing it. So I'm getting close to getting fit to be hands-on again, so it'll be great.
Seamus, I had 5 kids. I don't think I ever changed one nappy. I didn't, honestly.
Really?
No.
I'm hands-on.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, times they are a-changing.
Yeah.
Let's turn our attentions to Watford. Last game of the season, Friday night. Got to win it, Snods.
We have got to win, yeah. Finish on a 9-0 at Goodison Park. I think we've been tremendous at Goodison this season, scoring goals, entertaining. There's not been many blips at Goodison this year. So I can't see us getting beat to Watford. I really can't. I think the boys will be up for it. The fans will be up for it. We've been the last game as well. So I'm looking for a promising performance and a pleasing victory.
The home form this season, Seamus, has been terrific, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been great, and it's been important to get back to that. I think in my time, it's always been known that the home form has been good, or it's been a tough place to come. So it's great to have that back. And as Snod said, it's important to finish with a victory because the fans have been great all year, and we've done very well this season. So you don't want it just to fizzle out. So hopefully we can get the win.
And the last game of the season, the last home game of the season, I always think it's important to win it because if you don't, it can linger, can't it, through the summer for a little bit.
Yeah, it can as well. Plus, I know a lot of our fans, last game of the season, stay out for a drink, Daz, and going to Liverpool every last game of the season. So I think to send them off for a nice pint, they want to win. They want to talk about this season at Goodison Park. And we have been good, as Seamus says. We've been good this season. We've been difficult to beat. And yeah, it's been a good season. I've really enjoyed it.
Qualifying for Europe, it's very much a case of job done, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah, that's your intentions for a club like Everton. We know really we're not going to win the league, but if we could have challenged for that top 4, which is difficult, would have been nice. But the next one needs to get in Europe, and we've done that. And I'm sure we'll have some good days in Europe as well next season.
Some good nights as well. Well, the game against Watford at Vicarage Road earlier in the season was something of a turning point for Everton. After that 3-2 defeat, the Toffees lost just 3 of our next 19 Premier League matches, and that run went some way to securing the European football for next season. 7th place is now almost certainly going to be our final position in the table, but Ronald Koeman still wants to finish the home campaign on a high.
We go for our 13th win of 19, and that will be great because that's really a strong home record of this season.
A win would give us 43 points at Goodison this season. That's the best tally. That would be the best tally in the Premier League era and the best since 89-90. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and that's what you like to have. Really, a strong home performance in front of the fans. And okay, we had some great results in this season. Man City home, Arsenal home, unbelievable nights with a great atmosphere. And that's what we like to keep. And of course, we like to improve in the away games because I think we had many bad results. Of course, you know, normally teams are more stronger at home than maybe away, but I think the difference was too much.
Looking back, what do you think has been the key behind the team's form at Goodison?
I think really the December month when we beat Arsenal, I think that gave a really boost to the players at home, and of course the strong start of 2017 at home, Southampton. The best performance, Man City at home, the 4-0, gave really the belief in the team, in the players that it's a really tough place to come, and they showed that being comfortable on the pitch, and we create a lot of situations in front of the goal to score goals. We scored 6 goals against Bournemouth at home, 4 goals Hull at home, and great home performances and what you like to show to the fans.
Do you agree with what I said earlier, Seamus, that 3-2 defeat at Vicarage Road early in the season was something of a turning point?
Definitely, yeah. I remember that game well. You know, individually myself, I remember having a very bad game, and as a team, I remember we were very bad. I think only 1 or 2 of the players really showed up that day, and you know, it was a low point in the change room. We were on a bad run, and performance was poor. But we had a chat together after that game. You know, said what we needed to say to each other, and I think we got a reaction from then on in.
You like hearing stuff like that, Snods, don't you?
I do. I know the Everton team that I played in, there were a few that would let you know if you weren't pulling your weight, and I was one of them. Reedy was another, Sharpie was another, Kev Ratcliffe. And when you've got 5 or 6 like that, they'll have a go. I think it's good to get it out in the open every now and again. And we were just talking again there. You don't know why you can't produce the performances week in and week out. You just don't know as a player why it's not happening for you in a certain game. Because if you did, we'd be brilliant players every week in and week out. It's a strange situation to be in. Why am I not playing this well, and why are the team not playing that well? You can't put your finger on it, Daz.
You love scoring goals, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, as a defender, first job, as everyone will tell you, is to defend, but it's a part of the game that I really enjoy doing, and I think there's no better feeling on the football pitch than when you score a goal, especially if it's, you know, to win or get an equaliser for the team.
Seamus, would you ever do a Jagielka cartwheel?
I wouldn't be fit to do it, I don't think, yeah. No.
What did the lad say about that when he
Well, I wasn't about at the time, but he probably got a bit of stick for it, yeah, I'm sure he did.
He wasn't, but
yeah.
Oh my, don't ever try that.
No.
I don't think Jags will ever try it again.
No, I don't think he will.
It's your celebrations that the punters like as well.
Yeah, I can't help myself. I get a bit of stick from some of my teammates because they come to celebrate with me and I just run away. But I do look very aggressive, but deep down I am very happy when I score. But it's a great way of letting out emotion too. You know, if you're having a bit of a bad game or you're getting a bit of stick, you can score a goal and just let your emotions out.
The one you and I often speak about is Swansea City away, when you went all to Mary Ket's Bayern and started booting the advertising hoods.
I still cringe a little bit at that. Yeah. The knee slide was brilliant, but the kicking of the boards wasn't the best. But as I said, I just lose myself when I score. There's no better feeling than scoring a goal, and especially if it's, you know, to equalise or get the winner for your team.
What was your celebration?
I
can't remember.
When I played right back, what the position he played, I never even scored, so I didn't need a celebration. But no, I weren't the most. I created a few chances, but never scored from right back. I really didn't.
I think the Evertonians love to see players lose it when they scored. It shows how much it means.
Yeah, it did. And I've got to admit, he's very passionate when he scored. Especially, who was that one against that you were just pumping
Swans or Arsenal or one of them. Yeah, it's happened a couple of times this season. Yeah,
it could have been any one of them.
We have a laugh on radio, weren't we, doing it commentary?
And that's another hour that's flown by. I've really enjoyed the company of Seamus Coleman this week, and as always of Ian Snodin. Snods and I, by the way, will be in the commentary box for EvertonFC.com for the final Goodison game of the season. Where does the time go? Thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you again in 7 days' time for another Everton show.